What's going on, guys? I'm Chris, and today I'm going to be showing you all the movies that I picked up in the month of April. I have a pretty good amount here just because I, was online on Best Buy or eBay and I found some pretty good deals, so why not? We're all quarantined and I figured I should pick up some more physical media so that I can have stuff to do. But yeah, I'll just go ahead and get right into them. So the first movie that I picked up is a classic. I actually watched this one during my 100 Movies I Missed project, and that is Cool Hand Luke, starring Paul Newman, and I adore this movie. Like I said in the 100 Movies I Missed video, any movie that's like a prison-based setting, I'm just going to love it for the most part, and Paul Newman, career best performance in my opinion. I had a lot of fun with this movie. I love the quote from the warden when he's like, "What we've got here is failure to communicate." It's just so classic, and I love this movie. I'm so happy I finally own it. The scene where he eats 50 boiled eggs is hilarious, and it just fits the story so well. Like I said, I had seen clips from this before I bought the Blu-ray and even saw it, but this was the first time I sat down and watched it from beginning to end, and I'm so glad that I finally own it. It's a classic. If you have not seen Cool Hand Luke, I highly recommend it. The next movie I picked up, I got off eBay, and I do this weird thing where I like to pick up movies in their original release format. Like, if it's out of print and they release like a new format of the Blu-ray, I want to get the original one. And that was especially the case with this movie, and this was also on my 100 Movies I Missed list, and that is Birdman, starring Michael Keaton, Edward Norton, Emma Stone, directed by Alejandro Iñárritu, and a Best Picture winner that I had not seen. I really enjoyed this movie. It was really well done. I think that it's Keaton's best performance for sure, and the slipcover is beautiful, how it opens up, and the red case. I had to get the red case. That was the one thing with this, but yeah, this is easily one of the best Picture winners from this past decade. I do wish that Whiplash won Best Picture this year, just because that's probably my favorite movie, but this is well deserved, and I'll probably revisit this in the coming days, maybe a week or so. I'll watch it. I had a good time with this one. The same thing about original formatting goes with this one. I finally picked up this movie on Blu-ray. I'd owned it on DVD for years, and I've seen it probably 10 times in my life, or more, probably more. That is The Incredibles. Some people say this is the best Pixar movie. I don't think it is, but it is in my top 5 easily. This is just a beautiful slipcover, and I wanted to get it with like the original release. I know they've re-released this movie like 20 times, but I've been holding off to find a really good deal on eBay because this is like the original release format or whatever. And I finally found one. The price was right, so I went ahead and pulled the trigger. I'm glad I did. I'd owned The Incredibles 2 since it came out. It's right there behind me. But yeah, I really love The Incredibles. Who doesn't? It's just classic Pixar, and Brad Bird's a great director. I would love to see him tackle an upcoming like franchise movie, maybe an MCU movie or a Star Wars movie, who knows. But yeah, The Incredibles, can't go wrong there. So next I got a Criterion of a movie that I had not seen for the first time until last year, which is crazy, but that is The Princess Bride. I rewatched this 2 or 3 nights ago, an absolute classic. I mean, this movie flies by from beginning to end, and it's such a fun time. I just love the characters, especially Inigo Montoya, when he goes, "My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die." It's a classic movie quote, one of the best ever, if I'm being honest with you. And he's probably one of my favorite movie characters, probably like in the top 25, if I'm being honest. I don't know how I missed out on this movie for most of my life. I just hadn't seen it for some reason. I'm so glad I finally watched it because it is a beautiful release too, how it's like a book, like the movie, and on the back, "As you wish," the iconic quote. So happy I own this Criterion. They're still doing a 30% off sale through the end of May. So if you are into Criterions, you can check that out, obviously. But a great movie that I'm finally happy to own. So the next movie I picked up, I have never owned it for some reason. I've seen it more than once, and it's one of the better Bond films, especially the Craig Bonds, and that is Casino Royale. The 4K was like $15 at Best Buy, so I definitely picked it up. It comes with the 4K and the Blu-ray, of course, but a lot of people say this is the best Bond movie of all time, and I actually prefer Skyfall. I think that's the best Bond movie and the best Craig Bond movie. Javier Bardem's a great villain in that, and I think the action's great. There's a lot of twists and turns, and it's one that I saw in theaters. I didn't get to see this in theaters, but yeah. I prefer Skyfall, but I love Casino Royale, especially like the middle act, where it's really focusing on the poker game, and it's more of like a smart man's movie instead of like all-out action like the first act and third act. But I really enjoyed this movie, like I said, and I plan to rewatch all the Craig Bonds leading up to No Time to Die, so I figured now was a good time to pick it up while it was on sale. And the last movie that I've got here is a new release, one of my favorite movies from 2019, Little Women, directed by Greta Gerwig. This movie was extremely emotional. I got teary-eyed multiple times during the theaters, and I wish Saoirse Ronan won Best Actress. She just gave such a powerful performance. And Timothée Chalamet, I wish he got a Best Supporting Actor nomination. I know that category was super tough and competitive this past Oscars, but I would have loved to see that. And Florence Pugh is great as well. The cast all around, it was perfectly casted. And Greta Gerwig is 2 for 2. She's made Lady Bird and this, and both movies are top notch. So I can't wait to see what she does next, and I'm definitely rewatching this one soon because it would have made my top 10 had I seen it in theaters in 2019, but I had to wait till January, so it didn't make my official top 10, but now it would be in my top 10. So yeah, those are all the movies that I picked up in April on Blu-ray. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you haven't already, please consider subscribing because we've got a lot of content planned for the future. Me and my friend Andy, who I run the channel with, we're going to have some more videos out for you guys soon, and if you haven't checked out my Blu-ray Steelbook collection, please do so. It'll probably be in the link above or at an end card at the end of the video, but yeah, be sure to like this video, comment what you picked up in the month of April down below, and until next time, I'll see you guys later.